to this session today in collaboration with King's College London and Fourth Rev. My name is Daniel Cairns and I'm the Head of Enrolments here at Fourth Rev. It gives me great pleasure to welcome you to today's session. Thank you for, I won't say giving up your time, I'll say investing your time is a better way of putting it. It's going to be a great session, an overview of the Product Management Career Accelerator. And I guess with the help of our panelists, we'll uncover how the King's Product Management Career Accelerator can help you build the skills, confidence and connections to thrive in product management, especially in an AI age as well. A little bit of housekeeping first, if I may. It is about you and what it is that you need to know. As much as we're going to give information, we'd like to tailor that to your intended outcome. So we'll have a poll along the way, but if you do have any questions, please pop them in the Q&A section below, not the chat function. We'll use the chat function for things like, as Danielle and John and Ola have done, introducing yourselves. We'll be putting some assets in there, some links, link outs and things like that. And I'm really, really pleased to announce a special offer for those in attendance that we'll get to when we get to that portion of the webinar at the end. So welcome one and all, engage as much as you can. Let's have some fun along the way, but let's answer as many questions as you may have once we get through it as well. I'll give a quick introduction and forgive me if I talk fast. I do want to get to our guests quickly, but in true collaboration between King's College London Industry and Fourth Rev, the Career Accelerator is designed to have education for career impact. So it's not as if you do some study and you do an exam and you put it to one side and you never look at it again. You have the opportunity of learning the skills that employers are seeking, that are in such high demand, and that are really practical in enabling you to develop a portfolio to show off, obviously, the skills that you've learnt along the way. It's made up of 3 courses and 1 live industry-facing project at the end. So each course runs for 6 weeks. There's a week or 2 reflection to help you have that learning sink in, but also take a rest in between times before course 2, which is another 6 weeks, course 3, another 6 weeks, and then the employer project. Just briefly, one of the guests on the panel will go into more depth, but course 1, PM Essentials, course 2, Advanced PM Execution, and course 3, Strategic Fluency before that employer project. To frame the employer project quickly for you, your application you'll be teamed together with 4 or 5 other high caliber learners. You'll then meet with one of our employer partners. They could be anyone from DocuSign, Sky, and many, many others that we work with. They'll present to you as a team a real product-related challenge or scenario that their business currently experiences. And through the application of learning in those first 3 courses, you as a team will come up with innovative and tangible solutions to that scenario, presenting your solutions and recommendations back to that client, if I can call them that, in a consultancy style presentation at the end. The benefit of that is numerous. It is a practical application of learning, as I've mentioned. It's brilliant to network both with your peers, but also leaders of industry in the actual project. And lastly, be it you're seeking to commence your career in product, change careers into product, or advance your existing career in product management, it is a much more powerful demonstration of your prospective value to an employer or your current employer than it ever would be to recite an exam result, for example. So practical learning that is in high demand from an employer perspective because employers have contributed to the content design, portfolio development all the way through, no exams. I think everyone would like that. And a real employer project with a leading employer at the end makes for a very powerful proposition. In addition to that, to enable you to achieve your intended outcome, there's a fantastic program of support, including career coaching all the way through and beyond. The career coaching aspect we'll touch on much more deeply shortly, but that will see you achieve your intended outcome sooner, hence the term Career Accelerator. It does involve one-on-one coaching monthly throughout the program and beyond. And if you don't achieve your intended outcome within 6 months beyond, we'll extend that career coaching furthermore as well. I might move on. It is 6 months, part-time, so it is 100% online, but there are commitments to be made and sometimes sacrifices to be made to ensure that it fits in with your busy lifestyle. Almost all of our learners are working full-time, but it's around that 15 to 18 hours per week, and it's a blend of synchronous and asynchronous learning. So synchronous sessions live for all learners with our industry mentor and facilitators. And then the majority is asynchronous, meaning it fits in with your life as opposed to you fitting in with a university timetable. So 12 to 15 hours a week. Sometimes you do a little bit more, sometimes slightly less, but that's a good gauge in which to do. A couple of hours or an hour or two a day and a chunk on the weekend, you can certainly fit it in if you give up that Netflix series before it starts or so forth as well. We cap our learner numbers and they do sell out. The reason we cap our learner numbers is to preserve the learner experience. What I mean by that is if we were to open this up globally for 300 or 400 learners at intake, which I'm sure we could, it would mean or dictate that we would have to have 20 or so learners on a project team, which would dilute your roles and responsibilities within that team. We don't want to do that, so we cap our learner numbers in collaboration with King's to ensure that there's that manageable and more realistic product team sizes, ensuring that your roles and responsibilities within that project are reflective of what you can expect in industry and to demonstrate to employers as well. The fees, including that extended career coaching that I've mentioned, are £6,295. I do have a special offer for those that are attending, or if you pay up front, as you can see on the screen, it's reduced to £5,795. And we do have payment plans available to you as well, be it upfront with that upfront fee reduction, be it a 6 monthly payment plan with no fees and no interest associated, or we do have extended payment plans with a finance provider over 24 months with a small £20 application fee, but again, no interest associated with that to try and make that accessible for many. The entry criteria is straightforward, that you've completed a bachelor degree previously or you have a requisite amount of years experience in a professional environment. The best thing that you can do if you are unsure is to book a time with your enrolment advisor who'll guide you through that, your individual circumstances. But safe to say that we've been running this program for a number of years now and have a catalogue of really inspiring learner outcomes where they've either, as I said earlier, commencing their career, changed their career, or looking to advance their existing career. Before I do introduce the panel, just quickly, the application process is very, very straightforward. It's a matter of uploading your resume, a transcript or certification of your undergraduate degree, and an identity document. We take that to the admissions team and get you an answer quite promptly within 24, 48 hours, depending on when we meet. You'll then receive a letter of offer, and to secure your placement, you pay your deposit basically. Lastly, before I move on, this program very proudly is also one of the only programs that has achieved a level 7 postgraduate certificate option as well. So to explain that very, very quickly and briefly, once you finish the Career Accelerator over that 6 month period, you obtain your intended outcome. You do have an option of coming back to study at King's, which is a capstone project. It will involve an industry-based project. So wherever you're working, you can use scenarios within your workplace in which to do the project. You'll do a dissertation on the learning outcomes of that project and a short presentation bringing the two things together, and be awarded a level 7 postgraduate certificate from King's College London and receive all the benefits that come with that as an alumni as well. I hope I've been clear. I'll certainly stick around and answer any questions that you may have regarding the program, the payment plans, the entry criteria, all of that. But let's hear from our panel first. It gives me great pleasure to welcome our panel today, Justin and Alice. As always, great to see you both, and thank you for being in the background while I gave that brief overview. I might go to you first, Alice, for an introduction for the audience benefit.
Thank you, Daniel. I'm Alice. I'm one of the Fourth Rev career coaches. I've been at Fourth Rev for almost 3 years now and worked on this career accelerator the whole time. I am all about career happiness, I did a job for many years that I wasn't happy with, and I changed my career into being a career coach. And I believe that a lot of you may be career changers yourself, or potentially thinking about it. So we're all about kind of working with our learners to make sure they have the best outcomes, and getting to the kind of places that are right for you as well, which I'll talk about in detail later.
And that prompts a question for me. And thank you so much, Alice. Um, I'll come back to the question for in fact, let's put the audience question now ahead of Justin's introduction, if I can. Just with what you said, Alice, it resonated with me. If the audience could pop in the chat, not the Q&A, but in the chat this time, are you looking to commence, change, or advance? Just one of those three words. We'd love to know our audience demographic so we can tailor some of the content towards your intended outcomes. Are you looking to commence, change, or advance? Justin, welcome to you as well.
Hello, hi, I'm Justin. I am a product manager and subject lead here at Fourth Rev. So almost as long as Alice, but not quite, about 2.5 years here at Fourth Rev. And yeah, so I look after the program, the content we put into it. I'm constantly listening to learners, graduates, career coaches, industry experts within the market to make sure we're constantly improving the course as much as we can. So I am also a career changer as well into product management. In fact, I did a full career change. I changed location, I changed industry, and I changed role, which, as Alice knows, is like can be a tough thing to do, but it's something you can do if you're willing to put in the effort. But yeah,
Brilliant. Thank
happy
you,
to be here today.
Justin. I'm coming up on 5 years at Fourth Rev, so we all love it. We're all very, very passionate about our North Star metric, which is career outcomes. And I just think I need to change my hair color, as it's changed of its own accord over a period of time now. So let's see how that goes. Just seeing that we've got a number of advances, we've got some changes as expected. So if anyone else wants to give us their situation, we'll certainly do that. More advances, which is great to see, and some changes. Okay, let's set the scene though. Before we dive in, I guess it's important to ground ourselves in what's happening in the product world now. Over the past 2 years, we've seen a massive shift. Demand for product managers who work confidently with AI has grown about 4 times faster than traditional PM roles. Companies are no longer looking for just strategic thinkers, although they will always need them. They want people who understand how AI fits into the product lifecycle, who can work with data teams, and who can make informed decisions about what to automate and what not to. We're seeing that more than half of employers actively list AI literacy as a requirement. It's become a core part of the skill set, not a nice to have. And the shift is exactly why so many people are moving into product now, or looking, as many of our audience are as well, to advance their careers in AI, in product with AI skills. So people are drawn to the role through the chance to shape AI-powered products that influences how businesses operate. It's a massive opportunity and ongoing. Competitive earning potential, strategic, creative, and cross-functional work. As we always know, multiple different stakeholders and departments. Diverse career paths as well across tech, finance, health, retail, emerging AI sectors, and future opportunities in consulting, entrepreneurship, and AI-driven product leadership. It's evolving. You get to work in that intersection of creativity, strategy, and technology, which I think is really unique and exciting. You also get a chance to shape AI-powered products, collaborate closely with engineering and data teams, and build solutions that actually move the needle inside organisations. And to demonstrate that to a prospective or current employer is key. Beyond that, the earning potential is very strong. Career paths are diverse across industries, and you have long-term opportunities, as I said, in different facets of AI, including consulting, which is in high demand. So with that context in mind, let's look at the key benefits of the Career Accelerator. Practical projects I've touched on. It's really important to get across the fact that there's a true blend of employer-focused content that you develop as a part of the program, rather than examinations that you put to one side after and never look at again. So you take part in hands-on projects with real-world applications, support in building confidence and clarity with a career coach, building AI fluency, as we're going to touch on in a moment, and a certificate or certification from King's College London, and this faculty that is globally renowned as well. Justin, I'll start with a question for yourself, I guess. If you can give us an insight into the program structure, such as the three course unit overviews and some of the key tools and frameworks.
Yeah, absolutely. So our course is structured along, I would say, a three-tiered path where you start with what we call the PM Essentials. So giving you the really strong foundation and making you comfortable enough to actually go and do the job right after the first 6 weeks and start applying for jobs and really understand the product end to end. Then in course two, which we call Advanced PM Execution, we dive really deep into becoming extremely confident with working within a team, working autonomously. We know that that's becoming more and more important as teams become leaner and leaner within our organizations. And in course three, which we call strategic fluency, you start to stand out a bit more with commercial thinking, a bit of startup specific content, some more advanced features for a PM. So it's really like you're progressing through your career as you progress through the path. So it's perfect for both people beginning and for career advancers as well. The one thing I will say about AI is it is built like massively into the course. So it's not just like a bolt on at the end of each course. It's like within the content itself. Every single activity pretty much has an AI component to it. We give advice on how to use it responsibly. We give specific prompts for PM activities. So it is really deeply embedded in our course and not just like bolt on at the end.
We'll touch on AI next as well in much more depth. Um, but Alice, for the audience benefit as well, can you elaborate a bit on the coaching function, how this sets learners up for success?
Yes. So, as Daniel was saying, that we work with you throughout the Career Accelerator and 6 months afterwards as well. So you have a great chunk of time. You have a dedicated career coach that you work with the whole time on a one-to-one basis. So we'll get to know you, and we'll get to know all about kind of how you work and everything like that. We work on kind of a three kind of stage structure in order to get to your outcome. And I know there's a lot of advances here. Everything is bespoke depending on your career goals. So we will look at, and some advances might be wanting to have a promotion. Some advances might want to set up their own business or become a consultant or something like that. And we really do work on everything in a very bespoke way. But the three stages that I was talking about, firstly, it's clarity. So we work on kind of making you understand yourself, understand what makes you thrive, what conditions make you thrive, what environment makes you thrive, but also how to sell yourself and what are the kind of things that you need to tell people so you stand out in the job search market or when you're trying to be promoted within your business or anything like that. So that's the first stage that we work on. The next stage is confidence and mindset, which is such an important part of this. And sometimes people don't realize maybe a mindset can be holding them back, and you might have that invisible barrier that you just can't quite put your finger on why you can't speak to that person you want to speak to or do well in that interview. And a lot of it is to do with mindset and confidence. So we do work on that. And then the third stage, which is what I think a lot of people think career coaches do, is CV help, interview help. But a big thing is kind of understanding how connecting with people and having real conversations can really help to getting a job and standing out in the market. So we work on a kind of a networking strategy as well, which is really, really important.
Absolutely. It's a big part of it, isn't it? And it's inspiring what you do. You must achieve so much job satisfaction when you coach someone through to an outcome and then we see us all as a company celebrate that. I can only imagine how much you enjoy that. Thank you, Alice. That helps us get a much better understanding of your role, the support that you provide the learners, and the cheering we give our learners when they achieve their outcome as well. We'll touch on the integration of artificial intelligence into the program and the benefit thereof as well. So, in this program, on the next slide, you'll learn the use of AI to accelerate core product management work, from research synthesis to rapid prototyping to stakeholder communication, while developing the judgment to guide these tools effectively. I think that's critical. Make strategic AI product decisions strengthen irreplaceable human skills, and apply AI practically throughout your learning. Justin, just on that, is there an element of that woven throughout the program that you can elaborate on as well?
Yeah, absolutely. So I guess there's probably three parts to it that we teach. I think one there is we very heavily, of course, teach how to use AI to support you in the process of your day-to-day work as a PM. So how it can improve your efficiency, improve your work, etc. And as part of that, the second part is emphasizing the importance of the human skills are becoming more and more in the job place. It's becoming standard that you know how to use AI and you use it to, help you draft communication, do first drafts of work, maybe help you do some desktop research. But it really takes a PM that has a strong grounding in PM strategy, problem solving, knowing how to really check the work that AI is supporting them is absolutely critical. So we do emphasize the human skills because AI is automating so much stuff that you really need to have that intervention that you can demonstrate that you're a good communicator, you can align stakeholders, you're a problem solver. So the third part is about actually integrating AI into products. So it's important more and more so everyone who's working in technology is going to be managing some kind of AI assisted product in many circumstances. So we are also teaching understanding how AI works from a product perspective. What's the pricing model? What's the operation model? What kind of tech teams do you need, et cetera? So we teach that on the program as well. But it is deeply woven throughout the course, and it's not a standalone kind of module that we tackle on or anything like that.
Excellent. And as it's ever evolving, so it should the content. And I think that's something that many people would be asking when comparing the date of some content as well. But I'd like to ask the audience, and just a reminder, please pop your questions in the Q&A function. There's some fantastic ones already in there. We'll get to all of them as quickly as possible and even beyond the close of the top of the hour if we need to. I'm happy to stick around longer. And don't forget to stick around because I've got a special offer for you as well. But I do want to ask the audience a question. So which of the following in the poll that's popping up now is your biggest challenge when considering the career accelerator? Is it balancing work and studies? Is it the financial investment? Is it support for transitioning into a product management career or a new role within product? Or is it understanding career opportunities that are available out there as well? We'll let that poll run for 60 seconds or so while people put their answers in, and then we'll come back to that and address the results thereof. Just while we're giving it 60 seconds, Justin, I guess one other question without notice is the industry-based facilitators as well. So as I said to everyone earlier, it's a blend of synchronous live sessions and asynchronous, as in learner choosing when to fit studying with their life. But what's the caliber of the people taking those live sessions? And have you got some examples, yourself excluded?
Yeah, so we have a number of PM professionals that teach across. You're asking about the facilitators that do the live sessions, right? Yeah, so we have a number of PMs across the field. Most of them are actually mentors and product coaches as well. So I would say at least about 75%. So they've worked in the industry for a long time. They're experienced. Especially this time compared to 1 or 2 years ago, they're all using AI quite heavily to support their work or needing to put it in their products. So I think like when we were first introducing AI to the programs, it was like more challenging to find people that were really toying with AI and using it and getting proficient. But nowadays, it's like everyone is using it. So we have very proficient PMs in that respect. We have a diverse range of people that work from, health industry to tech to some that actually work in education tech like Fourth Rev as well. So there's a diverse perspective of PMs that teach the program. You usually have one main lead facilitator per cohort, and then 1 or 2 assistant facilitators that maybe jump in to support a live session, or they're supporting online, or they're helping with the marketing. I know one of the questions was, how are we assessed if we don't have exams? You'll be submitting projects and video presentations that your facilitators will feedback inline and overall. So you will get feedback from that, as well as anything you share in the live sessions, which we encourage people to do so you can learn from each other and get live feedback as well.
Good question. Good point, actually. And it's important to the audience to be aware of how we foster that studying apart but feeling connected. And there's an amazing array of not only the live sessions that we host, but the platform in which you all engage on to share learning, to talk about implementation successes and failures and job outcomes and all those types of things. We'll close the poll and come back to that quickly now before we get to some additional questions from the audience. Wow, this is interesting. So balancing work and studies, 31% as mentioning that as a challenge or a barrier. Financial investment, understandably, but we'll address that as well. And support for transitioning into product management is Alice's domain. So that's a really, really interesting and even spread across the top three. And then obviously the career opportunities are relatively well known there as well. Thank you for those that submitted that one. I will move on in the interests of time, though, and I do want to get to the questions that the audience have. But I might ask Alice first, what advice do you have for someone pursuing a career in product management?
Yeah, so I would say that research is the most important thing you can do because at this point you're kind of understanding, is this right for me? Is this the right career direction for me? And I would say you can research in so many different ways. You can look at job descriptions of product manager roles in all different industries. You can look at LinkedIn and product managers on LinkedIn and what they're doing and what they're talking about. There's lots and lots of kind of YouTube information with like people talking about their roles as product managers. But as well as, a lot of people tend to know that they are working in a company where there is a product team, whether they're in a tech company or something like that, and actually trying to kind of get some time with that product team and trying to kind of find out a bit more. Or if they know somebody that is a product manager or knows someone that is a product manager, sometimes just chatting to someone about it and finding out a bit more information about exactly what their role looks like and what it is a great way to kind of understand. So I would say research, 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 over research if you can. I think that's a brilliant way to really understand if that direction is right for you. But once you do get on the course, the career coaches will also be supporting you with kind of getting into that. So if you are a complete career change, we have had loads of people that have done massive career changes, and your career coach will be supporting you with all the different kind of stages that you can, and all the different steps you need to go through to get to being a product manager.
Love it. And a question without notice for you both as well. Um, Positioning new skills and the AI inclusions and the like for career advances, I think, is a lot of the audience's motivation as well. How do either the Alice, the coaches, assist career advances, and then Justin, how does the portfolio look for people looking to advance their career to demonstrate their competence to either existing or prospective employers? Alice first regarding positioning for advancement.
Yeah, so I mean, advances can be in all very different situations.
Mm.
But say if you're in, you're in a company and you really want to get to that, that promotion or something like that. We do a lot about kind of looking at your skills and what is it that you need to get to that next level, and what is it that you actually need to get to that promotion. So really understanding yourself, but also that kind of raising your profile and raising your profile internally and externally. So you are the first person that comes to mind when that next promotion comes up. So that's like one particular example of somebody that wants to get a promotion. But I mean, I was working with someone very recently, and they were advancer, and they just wanted they were kind of lacked confidence on the kind of the big companies. They worked in kind of finance, they lacked kind of confidence of getting to that point where they felt confident in going for these interviews with, the really well-known banks. She got her outcome, and she got a role within a very well-known bank. And it was all to do with just improving her confidence and making her believe that she could do it. And the career Accelerator helped with that, because she was, she knew that her skills were valid, and also she was kind of building her confidence in the coaching as well.
Look at the pride you have in telling that story. I love it. And
Yeah.
that's what it's all about. Justin, the benefit of the portfolio, and we might touch on this a little bit more, but in especially for career advancement.
Yeah, I would actually say the portfolio is like less beneficial for the career advancer versus someone who is new. So if you're new to product management and you don't have a ton of work experience, then building a strong portfolio so you have something that you can visually communicate and talk to during your interviews is really useful. I think sometimes with career advancers, a lot of people have fallen into product management from most people come from other roles. I would say most people that end up being PMs don't do it straight out of university. Usually you have some kind of work experience before then. So it might be just about the course is giving you the confidence to learn formalized processes for things that you've kind of just like winged it or started doing in your career. I mean, we've built this program with multiple subject matter experts. We're regularly updating it. You know that there are, proven methods that we teach, and you can take those and start applying it to your work, and then that gets shown to your employers, and you start to stick out, and you can advance your careers. I would focus more on the application of the work to your current job if you're a career advancer, while maybe someone who's new might work on building more of a portfolio piece that demonstrates their transferable skills, some of the projects they've worked on, say, for example, through our course or other areas to demonstrate their capabilities.
Wonderful. We're going to just hear one graduate's perspective, and in the coming months, you'll also have the opportunity of joining a webinar with a live learner or someone that has graduated. On our YouTube channel, there's many examples of that as well. But Polly was always she's a superstar, Polly. She really is. But she had a really strong appetite to learn, but also to invest the time required. And there's some questions about fitting this in with life. But investing in my professional growth wasn't an easy decision. And she said, but looking back, this was the best career investment I've made. The ROI is real. I now have the confidence, skills, and credibility to grow my career in ways that I haven't imagined before. And she's gone from strength to strength, including COO now of a product heavy organization as well. But Alice, from your perspective, we've touched on it already about the job satisfaction, but you must never get tired of hearing those success stories or watching them unfold throughout the program and beyond. Any favourites that stick out for you for a real learner outcome in product management?
I think it's just where you see that person grow in confidence, and you see that real change kind of happening. And it can be an advancer just growing in confidence, or it can be someone doing a complete career change. I once worked with somebody, and he had a very different job. He'd never worked in the corporate world, never worked in an office job, and he got a job very quickly for a kind of Salesforce sister company. And I just thought it was amazing and the way that he got it was an amazing story, where he was just talking to everybody and anybody. And we had this great elevator pitch, and he just met somebody in a gym class, and they, went for an interview, really pushed himself in the interview, and got it from there. But obviously the career accelerator massively helped him with all the skills he needed. But it was such a big change that that was a really good story for me. But I think everybody has these like little things that you see that they're transitioning and changing in some way, and that's really great to see.
I love that. Isn't that amazing? A gym session turned into a new job and a change of career. That's a massive life impact from putting yourself out there. And as you said, even just going up to people and speaking to them, asking them the basics and developing your network that way. let's get to the audience questions. And before we do, I guess if the audience are comfortable in doing so, to share what excites you most about the next step in your career in product management, be it a change or advancement. We'd love to hear your aspirations. So if you're comfortable in sharing them in the comment, we would love to hear anything that you would like to achieve, because it will become our role to help you in achieving that. Let's get to some questions. And thank you. Just a reminder, pop your questions in the Q&A. We'll get to them now. And before we finish, I'm going to give you a special offer that is well worth sticking around for. We appreciate you investing so much of your time. John, thank you, John. John has asked, can I ask my employer to help pay for the program? Absolutely. And there's strategy behind that too, John. And I'm not sure if Alice would like to add in this as well, but it is about demonstrating the value that this will provide your employer, and we can assist with that. So if you do book a time with your enrolment advisor, they've got tools and even brochures and things, or even just dot point strategies that can help you make that right, or make the approach right, showing mutual benefit of you undertaking the program. But great question. Many employers do. And sometimes it's not just financial. Sometimes people ask for time. And that's sometimes just as valuable for some people as well. Anything to add there, Alice?
Yeah, it is. It's an investment, isn't it? And you're investing in your career, you're investing in your future. So I know that a lot of people have asked their employers to kind of pay part of it, kind of investing together and that kind of thing, and also just getting their buy-in, because there is a lot of amazing stuff you're doing. And I think that, especially as I talked about, if you've got a product team in your company, sometimes that can be a real start to getting that change of career or that advancement, because you're already kind of saying, I'm going to put my time in to do this. So that could just get telling people that could actually then mean that they understand where you want to go and where you're aiming, which would then help you get to that place that you want to get to.
Great point. Great point there as well. And just so you know, John, and others that are looking to their employers for support, we're flexible enough to be able to split invoicing. Generally, what happens is you apply, you get a letter of offer that strengthens your opportunity of going to your employer to say, I've been accepted by Kings. You pay a 10% deposit to secure your placement, and we can split the balance of the invoice with your employer, or a split thereof. But it's a really powerful thing to take your employer is the letter of offer that shows that you've been accepted into the program from Kings as well. Now, I'll just jump into the next. Thank you, John, for that one. Gulamai's asked, Gulamai's in France, really concerned about English level and lack of practice writing, speaking. I'm probably graded between B2 and C1. This is probably a best discussion for you to have with an enrolment advisor. Kings certainly do have English language requirements higher than B2, but it depends on your professional experience and working in English, as well as the potential of taking an IELTS or similar as well. So, Gulamai, if you can book a time with your enrolment advisor, and they'll help you through your individual circumstances and guide you through the path of least resistance, hopefully as well. But yes, Kings certainly do have an English level requirement. Rowan's asked, what level is this course? How do people balance work and this course? Do they drop days, work weekends and evenings? Great question, Rowan. And I think that's one that many would be wondering, and I'll paint a picture for you if I can. Firstly, it is aimed at postgraduate studies. So it is a requirement, as I mentioned earlier, is the entry criteria to have an undergraduate degree or the requisite amount of years of experience to obtain entry. Again, if you're not sure, your enrolment advisor can assist on your personal level. However, it does contain that level 7 postgraduate capstone project should you wish to come back and do that after completion. But how people balance the program, it is designed to fit in with you more so than you fit in with university. But as I said at the top, there are sacrifices to be made when fitting study around your other life priorities, be they work or be they family. But this would be a typical week. Monday, you come home from work and you're very enthused about the week ahead. You jump on after the kids have gone to bed, or I'm not sure of your circumstances, Rowan, but you jump on for an hour or two and you engage with what's happened over the weekend or since you last logged on. in the Circle platform where you're listening and sharing anecdotes with other learners. And you get an hour or two done. You work through some of the modules, you watch some of the video content, and you get a fair bit done to set up your week. Tuesday, lunchtime, you'll attend a live session with one of the facilitators, for example. And again, engage with the platform, ask questions, come home Tuesday and knock over another hour or two. Wednesday's hard. Wednesday's hump day, and you've had a rough day at work, and you had to get the commute home, and it's been raining and snowing even, I've heard over there recently. Um, it's hard. And before your partner says, let's start that Netflix series, you say, look, I'm going to show up for 10 minutes to my studies. You sit down, you open the laptop up, you log on, you check some of the messages, you think, you know what, I'm too tired today. I'm going to have a glass of wine and I'm going to watch one episode with my partner. And you do that. But at least you've given yourself the opportunity of answering the question, can I study tonight or not? With the known. You've rocked up. And you can log on for 10 minutes and you might knock over an hour and a half because you're enthused with something, but you've shown up and you've answered the question yourself, even if you don't do anything. That's fine. Thursday evening, there's a drop-in Q&A or similar. You'll again engage in a live session and get a little bit done then. Friday off, you won't do anything. You'll go out for drinks with the boys or do whatever it is that you do on a Friday night. And then you'll do a block of a couple of hours on Saturday or Sunday, and that's pretty much a regular study week. To show up when you don't feel like it at times is key, but to maintain a consistent approach to online learning is paramount. I think it's fair to say. The only other thing to consider is the more you put in, the more you'll get out. And be that conversations with other learners on the platform, be it engagement with the employer project, be it you researching the topics and applying the learning on the real world examples as diligently as you can. The more you put in, the more you'll get out. Long answer, but I think, Rowan, that's a really common one that people want to know. And hopefully I've done that justice. I'm not sure if there's anything else that anyone else wants to add. Justin, I might give you the next one from Jen. Thank you, Jen. When do the live sessions tend to be? Are they consistent each week?
Yeah, so it can be a little bit different per cohort, but most of the time, depending on the instructor, it's either Wednesday, usually around Wednesday, sometimes Tuesday, Thursday, midday live sessions. Sometimes the instructor needs to do an evening session. And usually, depending on the cohort, it sticks to this time, but all sessions are recorded. And then we have a drop-in Q&A later in the week and another industry insight session where they go through more of their work experience earlier in the week. So there tends to be 2 to 3 live sessions a week. So hopefully you can attend any one of those. But it does depend on the cohort and instructor, whether that's an evening or daytime session. Regardless, they are all recorded. Not every learner goes to every live session because we do allow you to work completely async should you wish to do so. But of course, it is really great to join, and we encourage you to do so when you can, because you can have questions answered live and feedback on your work live in those sessions.
You're exactly right. And certainly during the orientation period, which is a 2-week orientation, the success team will give you the calendar along the way. So yes, they'll be consistent. The day shouldn't change much, occasionally lunchtime to an evening. But as Justin said, all are recorded. Gulamaya has asked, without a background as a PM, is the program suitable? Absolutely. Your transferable skills are, well, Alice, I guess, why am I answering that for when I've got your expertise here? We've had many career changes, but would you like to answer that question?
Yeah, I think one of the things that we do is we look at all your transferable skills, and we look at, because I think sometimes people just don't realize that they do have all that problem solving, and they do have all this, all the skills that they're looking for in a product manager, but they've just done it in a slightly different way. And sometimes it's just about being able to translate it to when you are on your CV, in LinkedIn, in an interview, when you're networking. It is just being able to translate it in the right way. But yes, we have had loads of people come from loads of different industries without product management experience. They've gone on to get product management roles.
Yeah, some most inspiring ones. Just want to break very quickly from the questions to recognise John, who's put in the chat function about what excites him, and I love it. it's the blend of chaos and clarity. That sums it up beautifully. Product management forces you to think like a strategist, a detective, and a firefighter all in one. I like the idea of owning a problem end to end, cutting through noise, and building something that real people actually use. That sums it up, John. That's brilliant. I love that. Um, think like a strategist, a detective, and a firefighter all in one. I'll remember that, and I'll forgive me. I'll try and remember that it's yours, John, when I am quoting it in the future. Anonymous has asked, what kind of support with company placements will be provided? I could be really direct on this, but I won't be. I think it's about, and I'm not sure of your transferable skills, Anonymous, but I think it's about elevating your intended outcomes. This is an intensive program with Kings over 6 months, with the backing of real world projects, but also real world examples in which you work on. Combining that with your transferable skills, as Alice just mentioned, it's not that we offer placements at all, but we offer you every tool and skill to enable your intended career outcome, I think is one of the best ways I could put it. Alice, is there anything else you'd like to add aside from placements that are quite entry level? We're aiming to elevate the outcomes of people here as well.
Yeah, we talked about portfolios before, and everything that you do on your course, we will suggest that you put in a portfolio, and you are working on these kind of your employer project, these real world kind of projects, these kind of projects that throughout the course. So we'll be suggesting you put them in portfolios. So it's not just putting them on your CV and just being like, I've done these, but actually showing your understanding, showing how your brain works, which means that which employees love to see. And employers will be you'll be standing out from other people because you're putting all that experience that you've done into the course with kind of these projects that you will work on, and putting them into a way. So it's not just I've done this on my CV, but you're actually showing all your workings, and you're showing exactly kind of your understanding and your brain behind it.
Exactly. I'm going to thank you kindly, Alice. Um, I'm going to jump through a couple of quick questions because I do want to reserve some time for one that's a little bit more in depth that I think we should all cover. And I'm conscious of time as well. Just before I do, though, um, there is a special offer for those in attendance today as well. And if you can submit your application and secure your placement before the end of the week or before the end of the month, which is the end of the week, we do have the opportunity of providing a £750 fee reduction across either an upfront payment or a 6 monthly payment plan, which we can't normally offer. So making it accessible to more. Or if you're seeking that more career support, in lieu of the fee reduction, we'll offer you two career coaching sessions with Alice or one of the team to ensure that you're clear on your intended outcomes, that you're setting a framework in which to achieve that throughout and post the program, and benefiting from hitting the ground running at day one. When that starts, then, as a few of you have asked in the chat, sorry, it's the next intake commences on the 2nd of February. It will sell out before that. The one after will be in April. We host 4 intakes a year to ensure that we can cap those numbers as well. So thank you, Rowan, for that question. And Anonymous has also asked the same question. Ian's asked very quickly, are there any in-person study networking opportunities for those somewhat close to London? Great question. Yes, is the short answer. Firstly, we host a graduation ceremony at King's. Secondly, it is amazing how many of our learners have a similar intended outcome and like interests, you could say, that organically organise meetups. I think, Justin, you might be able to refresh me on this, but I think it's still on LinkedIn. I'm not sure. It was called Pints and Product from memory or something like that, where people organised to have a pint and talk product, all stemming from one of the learners on the program. So organically, yes, Ian, there'll be networking opportunities that are arranged, but also the formal opportunity of networking at King's as well. Important part of it too. Danielle has asked, do we offer any in-person classes? No, we don't, Danielle. Not on this program. King's have many, but this we work on two career accelerators with King's and with other universities, but we make this for a global audience. Whilst the majority are UK based, we certainly have learners from continental Europe, South Asia, some North America, as well as a handful in the Middle East. So you can expect a global student representation and networking opportunity as well, as it's all online. Last question so far, and I'm conscious of time. This is from an anonymous as well. And I think we should dive into this, both Justin and Alice, actually. I've been working since 2013 and have experience in product management. Currently, I'm working in sales within the biotech sector, but I'm eager to transition back into product management in the pharmaceutical and medical device industries, where my core expertise lies. I joined many AI training. What would the benefit of this course be for me? I guess is that great question. Thank you for taking the time to not only attend, but to consider what the benefit is for you and engaging with us on that. And I think it's representative of many advances. I might go to you first, Justin, if that's okay, for your thoughts on that, and then Alice to wrap around that, the coaching aspect. But there's always gaps, but there's always someone that's doing something more as well. But Justin, what are your thoughts on answering that question, reflective of not only that individual, but many of the attendees as maybe in a similar circumstance?
Yep, great. And if I understand the question correctly, it looks like they used to work in product management before, maybe as early as 2013, but for the past X years, they've been working in sales within biotech. So the first thing I would say is the fact that you want to stay as a product manager within your industry, so pharmaceutical medical device being within the biotech field, is a massive, massive plus. Especially when you're transitioning careers, like staying within industry helps big time, but also just the marketplace in general for the product management role and for many roles within the product team, including design roles, companies really value, for better or worse, but in your case, it's an advantage, industry expertise when it comes to hiring those roles. So the fact that you know about the industry is a massive plus, especially as a product manager working into that. So you should be happy about that. Now, in terms of whether the course would benefit you, it sounds like it's probably been quite some time since you've done any product management work. It certainly has changed a lot from 2013, a lot more evidence-based, I would say, than it used to be. Obviously, data and AI literacy is becoming larger. So even if you've had AI training, there are specifics to the PM field. For example, you probably haven't done anything on like how to integrate an AI feature into your product itself or how to manage AI products. That could be something new that you learn. But yeah, everything we give in terms of AI advice, except for the very beginning of the course where there's general prompt and ethics advice, is about PM specific AI work. So I think there's a lot to be learned in terms of formalized PM processes that can maybe help you regain your confidence, but also with specific AI work as well.
Absolutely. Thank you, Justin. Alice,
Yep.
over to you
Yeah,
for the wrap up of that.
thank you. I'm looking at your background, and I've worked with people with very similar backgrounds. And I would say that we would work on a networking strategy in order that you can kind of re-engage with the people that you used to work with, or re-engage with just your industry, and get some kind of ideas of where to go next. And I think that's the best way. And I've talked a lot about networking and being very key. I don't want anyone to be scared by that, because some people hear networking and they think I absolutely cannot do that. That's not me. We're finding that it's becoming quite an essential thing to, you might be applying to tons and tons of jobs and just not getting anywhere. And actually being able to have a strategy where you are connecting with people, and it doesn't have to be scary. It could be within kind of what you feel comfortable with, but I will challenge you as well, will help with getting to that point where you are getting interviews and you are getting yourself known. And just when I was looking at Anonymous's details, I was thinking of one of my learners that did this. They got a contact, someone they used to work with in that industry, to kind of get them in a meeting with kind of a head of product. She got that meeting, and that got her the job. She was a career changer, so she hadn't had any product management experience, but she got a chat with them. She got the job, and she would have never got it because she said there was like 200 people applied for the role. So that was her way of standing out. So this is the kind of thing that we will be talking about. It doesn't need to be scary or unachievable, because we'll work on it in the way that will make you feel, like you can do it. So yeah, I would be thinking definitely networking strategy.
Fantastic. Helpful for everyone, but hopefully for Anonymous in particular, filling the gaps, updating the skills, demonstrating a new portfolio on networking would be ideal. That's the last question I've got from the audience. So I'll bring us together. Just a reminder, um, applications for the early application incentive close on Sunday. We'd love you to make the most of that. I forgot to mention it, there's only 20 of those fee reduction placements available. Once they're gone, they've gone. Bringing it back together also for some of the key learning aspects and key features of this. It's an industry co-designed program featuring a great amount of AI inclusions, enabling you to position yourself as a leader, or as a valuable prospect to a prospective employer that's seeking up to the minute relevant skills. You can apply the learning through a practical portfolio of skills and have that live industry facing project with a recognised employer to add to that portfolio. An opportunity to be coached towards achieving your intended outcomes sooner through Alice and team that, as you can see, are just so passionate about helping you achieve that. That's our whole being here at Fourth Rev, is to help you go further faster. And then lastly, it's the learning experience that you go through meeting other people, like you've said. So many of our learners have come up with different ideas together. So many of them are still in contact with each other and will be for forevermore. But having that cohort experience so that you go through it together as a team or as a cohort is irreplaceable as well. Lastly, if you do choose to come back and do that capstone, you will be awarded a level 7 postgraduate certificate from King's College London, which is one of the only postgraduate certificates in product management globally. I know there's a couple more, one here in Australia, but that also for our anonymous friend who's looking for the points of difference is a significant point of difference available to you as well. Thank you, one and all. Thank you ever so kindly to the events team and Sam in particular in the background. Justin and Alice, your insights have not only been inspiring, but so helpful for myself to even learn more, but especially our audience. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Lovely to talk to you all.
The pleasure's ours. Thank you. And for the audience benefit, it's decision time. Make use of what we've got on offer. Take the next step, which is to either submit your application, which will only take you 5 minutes, or speak with your enrolment advisor if you need more one-on-one questions answered or barriers overcome, for example. They'll treat that like a very consultative approach and conversation. But it is about making a decision. It is about taking that next step, picturing what 2026 will look like once you've got these skills and this accreditation, certification, and potentially qualification under your belt thereafter in product management, and what your career will look like then. Visioning that powerful. Engage with those that may need to understand your commitment, be it your partner, be it your children, be it your colleagues or friends, and see the pride in their faces when you say, I'm going to go back to study. I'm going to study with one of the world's leading universities, and I'm going to do it for the benefit of my career, but the benefit, therefore, of the family or of the workplace or of the boss, whatever the motivation may be. Engage with them, see their pride. It's a great example to set for the kids, but more importantly, it's going to help you achieve your intended outcomes much, much sooner. So it wasn't wasted time at all. It was a great investment that you've made by attending today. Now it's about committing to yourself and making that next decision. We're here to help. We look forward to welcoming, supporting, and mostly celebrating your success in the Product Management Career Accelerator with King's College London. Thanks again, Justin, Alice, and Sam, and for everyone that attended. Have a great day.